Hey everyone, DoorDashing Womble here. Well, it's a rather damp and chilly night here in Kansas City tonight. It has been most of the afternoon, I suppose. I didn't come out till late. Had some projects and such to do at home that I dealt with. And some video edits as well, but I knew it was going to rain, but to be fair, the rain don't bother me. Come from England, it rained a lot when I was back there, so grew up in the rain. I really don't care. The rain don't bother me at all. Now, if I'm driving at night and we've got the road surfaces, with all the wet road surfaces, having all the headlights, LED headlights, and the LED traffic lights and that glaring, reflecting off the ground, and that just drives me scatty. So I tend not to, unless it's got a better road surface that dispels the water a bit better, but they tend not to add too much of that in Lee's Summit, especially when they've had to patch the roads and they got that glossy flipping patchy stuff that they put down. They just don't put it down like they do properly when they just patch it. Anyway, yeah, so it's a bit on the damp side, and it's a bit on the chilly side. The van is lying. The van says it's 61. The van is normally about 4 or 5 degrees above what it really is. So it's probably about 56. Ooh, chilly. Anyway, so I had to put long jeans on today. Well, otherwise I would have froze my cockles off. Alright, yeah, it was fairly busy tonight. We had some fairly good sized orders, I suppose. There were some that weren't, but some that were just they were paying about right, and that was fine. I just it kept us running a bit more and was able to make a few quid. Did give up a bit earlier. The weather just started getting a little bit too crazy, and there was some absolute nutcases on the road tonight. Got some people that were overly precautious on the road, which is just as bad as being a nutcase at times. Had some plonker pull out in front of me on a light, and they were racing to get out on the out in front of me. I had the green light, and they just wanted out in front, and then they took their sweet ass time going down the road, which, yeah, people, you really cannot do that. That's absolutely, you're going to cause a bloody accident doing that. Whether the car's flipping speeding or not, that's on that main drag. It's their right of way. So if you pull out in front of it and do flipping 20 mile an hour where they're doing flipping 50 or 60, regardless of whether they should be or shouldn't be, then they're going to be either braking very hard or becoming part of the back end of your vehicle very soon. Ah, jeez. Luckily I wasn't going that fast, but I could see what problem it could do. And I've seen that happen plenty of times in the lifetime too. Anyway, yeah, and you know, it's starting to get darker early. It didn't help that it was a dark and dismal, dreary flipping day, so it got dark a bit quicker than it would normally, I suppose. But and it's coming to that time again, isn't it? We had this last year over the winter time, etc. Customers, if there's customers watching, put your bloody porch lights on. Put as much lights as you can on. And the other thing is, don't park your bloody truck or whatever it is right in front of the bloody steps of where your driver's got to walk up and deliver your food. Holy crap, I had a couple of those like tonight. One that, oh man. One, I mean, they put it right up to the garage door near, well, there was probably about 2 foot maybe to squeeze between. Well, it's not much of a squeeze, but I mean, either way, but they had a cooler or something in front of the vehicle too, so you had to get around that as well. It was pissing it down with rain at that time as well, which I don't normally mind, but I'm trying to flipping get your brown bag full of flipping whatever it was that I was delivering. So I don't really want that wet. It wasn't, my wife had it in a hot bag all the way there, and I gave her the hot bag back and said I didn't want to take it up there because it's a pain in the arse to try and unzip the bloody thing when you're trying to get it delivered and get the picture took and get the bloody hell off of there. Anyway, but on the way up these steps, I should have taken a picture, to be fair. You know, they had all their undergrowth, all their flipping fancy flipping landscaping, whatever it bloody well was, all flipping coming over the steps. But it made it difficult to figure out, negotiate where the bloody steps were. Luckily, I had my flipping trusty torch and was able to see those. Plus, I mean, I had the van's main beams on the front of the building too, but the sodding truck was flipping in the way and blocking that part of the beam from the lights. So yeah, I mean, they had a flipping some dim old bloody bulb in the garage. Gosh, it was dim. And then there was some sort of a light there, but I don't know if they've been out and bought the flipping dimmest candle flipping bulbs they could. I don't know. But anyway, I was able to see what I was doing, luckily. But some people may not. So, you know, if a driver slips on your property and flattens your food in the process because you're too flipping stupid, because you don't put the flipping lighting on, because you park your bloody truck in the way of everything, and your undergrowth is all over the bloody steps. You've got to think about this. I mean, I can't remember what I was doing. I think I was delivering Sonic or something. What was the other one I delivered? So, you know, drivers, make sure to get yourself a torch. Look, if you've not seen my videos before or not seen these, then get this thing. I've got a holster for it. Don't use the bloody stupid holster that comes with it. Piece of shit. It's not very good. And then Vipertech. I'll put another link to this in my thing. And the other thing with this is, which I nearly had to use this tonight, by the way. It's a very good torch. Very, very good torch. I did charge it, by the way. I don't think I really need... Oh, I might have done. Maybe I did need the torch. It seems to be brighter. Anyhow, my brother-in-law had previously watched one of my videos about these, one or two of my videos about this, and he decided to get one. He decided to listen to me for a change. Anyway, he got one because he goes out walking in the mornings, and he rather than carry his pepper spray, which he wasn't sure about using, how old it was or whatever, he decided to get one of these. He said it was a bit bigger than what he thought it was, but you know, but it's pretty helpful. It's pretty solid too. I mean, you can give it a good smack somewhere over the head with it if they were giving you any grief. But also, it says Viper Tech. Don't know if anyone can see that. Sparky. That's just how the metal is. It's got that a knurling on it. Knurling, that's what they call it in the old engineering trade. Anyway, so yeah, and this one, also it's got a little bit of a fun toy in it for those that have not seen this. First one is you got the torch. Then the torch goes off on the next click. See, let's go, look. Up there, one. On the second click, upwards, you've got this little switch on the back. And when you press that little switch on the back, it gets a bit scary for someone who may be wanting to attack you. That's what happens. They get a shock on the arse, or wherever it is that they're going to get it. Anyhow, get one of these. I think they're like 15 quid or something off of Amazon or so. I'll put the link down to it, I can't remember. There's different colours too. I previously had a silver or grey metal type. Same, it was by Viper Tech, and it came with one of their stupid little flipping holsters, canvas thing, whatever it is. Don't use it. Do not use it. That was how I lost the first one. I swear that's how I lost the first one. And you put it on your belt loop and the thing just disintegrates. It's absolutely bloody useless. And when I got the second one, because I couldn't find the first one, because I didn't know the first one had gone, then I saw what the problem was. Anyway, so yeah, don't use that. I actually got a case, a harmonica case is what I got, but it's not big enough really. And also be careful when you put it in your bloody pocket, unless you get a proper case for it. Actually, I'm going to put it in the pocket after, because the last time I did that and I was sat down, I found out how good the taser is, because when I put it in the pocket, in the holster, excuse me, the little switch decided to vipping. Oh, I wonder what that was. Oh, reflection. Anyway, the little switch decided that it was going to go on, and as I was sat down, I guess I must have hit the what's it button as I was trying to press it into the holster, and well, I didn't hear it crack. I sure as hell bloody well felt it. I was just showing it to someone, and then I demonstrated how it worked. Oh, boy did I jump. Anyhow, so yeah, definitely get one of those. I mean, it's a rechargeable one too, and it comes to you fully charged. I had mine maybe 2.5 months, this one, maybe 2.5 months, and I never charged it until maybe last week. But I didn't really need it. It was just that the fact that I decided to listen to my brother-in-law for a change, and he said that he wanted to make sure that it was fully charged, but just so if he had to use it, he knew that it was going to work. So I did that. Seems a lot brighter though. And maybe it's just as well I did listen to it. I don't know, it seemed to be alright. I played around with it a few times, and I'd used it a few times. But don't use it every day or every night, but it's handy to have. And like I said, it's a bit flipping hefty. You give someone a good old crack on the head if they flip him, or if they were giving you grief. It's got a little funny strap here. I wouldn't trust that either, but anyway, it's on there. It's lasted a lot longer than the stupid bloody what's it? Seems like it's plastic at the bottom of there. At the bottom of there, it's all plasticky. But so where that carry handle is, I wouldn't hold a lot of hope into that. But anyway, like I said, there's plastic at the top of here as well, and of course you've got the metal spiky things that go off when you hit that ever important fun button. I didn't plug it in. Anyway, switch it on for that. I'll put that there because I don't want to get shot again. Anyway, yeah, so they do it in the red, obviously. They do it in that silvery grey colour, which is what I previously had, and they do a blue as well. I have seen a pink one, but I'm not sure if that's with the Viper Tech or that model. But anyway, either way, you've got a choice of what. Oh, and I think it comes in black too. They're all metal anyway. But yeah, just 15 quid. 15 quid is which. Actually, I got my first one on sale, and I think it was like $10. It was just on a sale for some reason. So if you don't want to buy it now, then maybe keep it in your Amazon list, and maybe you'll be able to get one a lot cheaper. Don't know, but it's worth doing. But they're definitely worth having. What else? Yes, like I said, I nearly needed the bloody tasery bit tonight. Oh my gosh. My last job of the night, delivering independence. Deliver from the sushi place and from Mr. Mint Sushi in Lee Summit. Like I said before, I like going into that establishment because it's a family-run place. Very nice people. I don't necessarily like the idea of the food because, well, I want it cooked. I believe that they do some grilled stuff as well. But anyway, I like going in there. Like, it's a small family-run place, and we've gotten to know them over the year so that have been doing this. My wife comes out with me, and they asked, actually the wife of the wife there tonight asked after my wife too, and they're because of her health issues. So yeah, real nice people, and their son is such a nice kid too, such a nice kid. Definitely got his head screwed on right. Really nice kid. And actually, when I told him that my wife was in hospital, when he'd asked after her, he got pretty. You could tell that he was quite upset about that. But he's happy that she's out now. So anyway, nice. I like going in there. So anyway, picked up from there, and then proceeded to Independence area to deliver this lot of food. By the way, it's pissing down with rain at the moment. You might be able to hear it in the background. I'll do have the bloody heater on though, and it's feeling warm. Anyway, so I got to this rather dark area of delivering the food, and hadn't been down this particular road before, but got there, I mean, and as I pulls up on the driveway, I've got my full beams on the doorway, and I didn't even open the door of the van, and all it was the barking. Ah, crap. But it didn't sound like it was inside the house. I wasn't sure if it was actually across the road or what. And there was two tones, so there was two dogs about. Anyhow, I figured I'd just get out there with it, and I didn't see a dog at all. As I was getting closer to the house, I could hear it, but I couldn't see the bastard. And I could certainly hear him. I don't know if he was on the porch tied up somewhere, or what, but or if he was actually behind the front window or something. I mean, it was a nice house from what I could see. I mean, it was bloody dark, innit, out there. I mean, they had a porch light on and the garage light on, a lot brighter than the previous house that I'd spoke about, which ain't hard. But anyway, and then of course I had my headlights beaming on it. It had a better go at things there because their vehicle was outside, but their driveway was on an incline, so my lights could hit it a bit better. Anyway, so as I'm walking up the steps to the porch, the dog was getting louder and louder, and I was kind of peeping around. I love dogs, so I would have been pretty upset if I'd have to use the taser on it or something, or any other sort of force. But believe me, I would have done if flipping teeth were coming towards me. But yeah, I don't know where the dog was, but he was obviously upset that I was there, and you could tell. Sometimes you whip in, a dog will whip in bark. I mean, I delivered to one. It's a Great Dane, bloody great big thing. Is great, bloody great big dog he is, bloody great head on him, and you could hear him come running to the door, and he's barking all the way. But and the first time I even heard it, went to that house, he was barking all the way up to the door. But you could tell, and he stuck. You could tell he weren't flipping going to do anything. He was shouting at Terry to get away, I suppose, but or that he was there. But he was soft as shite. I mean, he insisted, like the owner was trying to get the food, keep the dog at bay, trying to keep him behind him, but the dog wanted to stick his head out, and his bloody great big head come out between the door and the vip and the geezer that owns him. That's a great thing. And all I did was just put my fingers on his nose and twiddle his nose, and he was soft. You could tell. Until he wasn't going to be eating me for dinner. Probably would have licked me to death if anything. Especially if I was bringing food. But this other one tonight, they wanted me for a chew toy. And I wasn't willing to do that. Anyway, so I just left the food on the doorstep. I didn't put it on top of the steps, rather. I didn't even go onto the porch. I didn't want to mess with that because I couldn't see around that side of it, and it was pretty dark around there, and that's where it seemed like the dog was, the barking was coming from. So I didn't want to know. So I just put the food on the top of the step. I'll put a picture up here or somewhere in the bloody video. And yeah, just said, you know, this is ridiculous. Took a picture and got back down to the van, and my wife says to me, well, why didn't you put it at the door? Because the bloody dog was ripping, sounding like you wanted to rip and have me for dinner. Or midnight snack at that point. Anyway, I got all tied back in the van, put the seatbelt on, etc. Got it backing it up. And I saw the woman come out and wave at us. And my wife turns around and says, oh, she had a nice wave. Yeah, bloody great. She could have waved at me as she saw me being chased up the bloody road with her dog on my arse. It still wouldn't have made a flipping blind bit of difference. I still would have had her dog on my flipping rear end. Bloody hell. Getting fed up with these flipping mad dogs lately. Oh, got some ice. But this thing about getting a cup of ice lately, go to Sonic. So, don't want a soda or anything. All I want is just a big cup of ice. Saves it leaking all over the place, and it doesn't, I don't know, taste better. Daft bloke, I suppose. But anyway, it just tastes better. That's like the little crunchy ice that it comes. Anyway, and if I flipping spill this, at least it's not going to leak out everywhere. If I had a bloody load of water, it would leak out everywhere. At least with the ice, it's just a little bit of drip when it's melted a little bit. So there's a top tip. If you're dashing and you flipping want a drink, don't get a drink, get a cup of ice. Actually costs you nothing at Sonic, and the same at Hawaiian Brothers too. They'll give you a great big cup of ice too, because it's got them little crunchy ice. Look. See? Oops. Little crunchy ices. Anyway, you'll get the idea. Just go along if you've been Sonic and grab one. I normally get a couple of something to eat and a couple of maybe a hot dog or something, and then get that. Like I said, don't cost nothing. Even though I would pay for it, but I mean, I'll pay for water anywhere else I need it, so. Anyway, so where was I? I was here getting on, that's for sure. So there's a few tips there. Also, petrol. I know I said I was not going to drive you all crazy with petrol, but petrol. Came past the petrol station tonight. Kind of had to, because one road was blocked that I wanted to come up. And the one, so I decided to just go past the quick trip on 40 highway in Stirling. And lo and behold, petrol is down to $2.94. So then I went past the BP on the way home, which is where I got petrol this afternoon. Yes, it's still today. Yes, this afternoon. And it's $3.09 now. That's what the price was when I got it, but as I got the account now, I got 5 cents off a gallon as well. Not a lot, so it's $3.04 less. Upside didn't have anything. Upside don't seem to have anything with them anymore. Well, not that particular branch at least. I mean, I can do it in Lee's Summit, but Lee's Summit's still more expensive. Like about, let me think, got to do maths now. I think it was $3.38 at the BP today. I was looking that up on Upside, and at the BP on Douglas it was $3.38. Less whatever the discount was. But yeah, $2.94. It's coming down. It won't. I mean, someone will fart in the Middle East and the bloody petrol go back up again. So it won't take a lot for it to go back up. But let's hope that they don't do it that quick. But in case, make sure that you sign up for Get Upside, or Upside. I think they changed it to Upside now. And I'll put the link below. Use my link and you'll get an extra 15 cents off a gallon, I believe, for now. And it'll help me somehow too. So, you know. So that'll help. Keep using that. I mean, it's all cash back. It all goes into their into the account, and just let it mount up. And you can use that. Use the Get Upside app at various restaurants. Good Sense I saw on there recently. Actually, Good Sense last year when they had it over last year. Last Christmas time around there. You were getting like 18 cents a gallon. Excuse me, pillock. Right, 18%. 18% cash back. Blimey. I mean, I know their food ain't expensive, but wow, that's pretty darn good. you can use it at the Salty Iguana and where else? And various other petrol stations too. If you go inside at Phillips 66, and I think Casey's too. Yeah, and Casey's too. I've seen at Phillips 66 you got like 26% cash back on some of them. I mean, it varies day by day. I mean, every day is different, but it's a good thing. So if you're going in there buying snacks or something, or well, yeah, drinks, etc., then use that. I haven't used it personally, but sounds a darn good deal. And that money, I mean, you wouldn't have got back anyways, and it all goes into the account, into your cashback account on Upside. And then whenever you feel, I just let mine mount up. I mounted mine up quite a bit using it, and I did cash out. I actually cashed out a couple of times, and you can cash it out to PayPal, which is what I did with mine, and you can actually get some gift cards as well. I don't know if you can get a check. I thought I remember seeing that. I can't remember now off the top of my head. I might be just being daft, but anyway. But yeah, you can get various gift cards or whatever with it. Cabela's, I think, is one. Not really a shop I'm all that interested in. Walmart, Target. Where else? Best Buy. Everybody likes Best Buy. I didn't go in Best Buy. Like a kid in the flipping toy factory. Lots of electronics. I haven't been in Best Buy for a long time, which is probably a good idea. But yeah, it's so definitely get the torch. Definitely keep an eye on your petrol. Yeah, I know, I drive you all crazy. I've been doing that. I've got on this fixation lately. But think about it. I mean, you can save up to like 50 cents a gallon. And then if you use the Upside app, if it happens to work on whichever petrol station is cheaper that you're using it at, then you'll save some more. And with mine on the BP, I've got my Dasher Direct card connected to that, so whatever we get back on the Dasher Direct card. It was great when they were giving you 10% cash back, but unfortunately that dropped back down recently at the end of August. I think 31st of August that ended, and it's now down back to 2% cash back, which, you know what, and you can get cash back on other stuff too and save with the darn card as well, but I can't remember what you can use it, but the bloody card's free. Plus I know some of the drivers don't trust it. One of my previous cards got compromised. I think that was the first card that got compromised, so I had to order another one. And then I was at Hawaiian Brothers over in Blue Springs one night, handed it to them, and they swore that they gave me it, but I never did find it after, and I had to order another card. So thanks to bloody Hawaiian Brothers in Blue Springs, I would never go back there again. Absolute buffoons. They didn't handle that right. I mean, they hand it to you wrapped up in the receipt. This is what some of these businesses do. And you probably experienced it. They'll hand you your card back in the receipt, and when you say, "Well, I didn't get it," where the bloody hell did it go? I mean, I looked all over my car. They looked in the driveway. I looked in the driveway. I looked all over the bloody place. I couldn't find it. I never did find it. They swore that it wasn't left in there. Well, where the bloody hell did it go? I mean, I handed it to the vipping bird at the drive-through. She took it to, swipe it and do whatever. So anyway, well, so I ain't going back to that one. But the one in Lee Summit's pretty good. And the one in Independence as well. Use that a couple of times. So what have I got to say? I think that's it, really. I think that's it. I've had me moans. I've told you a couple of things. Petrol, again. Make sure if you're at a dark house or an house that's got no porch lights on, or it's just so dimly lit, like Candle Power House that I went to first of all, just point your vehicle in that direction of where you're going to be walking up to, and just put the bloody full beams on the house. Because if it's blinding them, then bloody hard luck, because they should put the bloody light on, so you can see going up the steps without tripping arse over flipping steps, over their undergrowth, or their cat or their dog, or a lizard. Yes, I had a lizard one night not too long ago. Rather a shock. Not as shocking as the squirrel, but we'll get into that another day. On another note, for anyone that's following, I do run a local British social group here in Kansas City, Missouri. It's called the Brits International, and obviously recently, just this week, we lost our Queen back in England, and great shock to us all. She certainly served the country well. Can't say I was always a fan, have been a fan of the royal family myself, but I do respect her for all that she's done, and I've learned more over the years when I've sat down and looked more into what she's done, etc. over her years. And unfortunately the UK is never going to be the same again, and I think with our present, with what we've got left with royalty now, I know some people have called to abolish the monarchy. Well, I don't think we should do that, but I do think that those people that are calling for that to happen need to shut their mouths and actually have some bloody respect. At least wait for us to bury the Queen. So, yeah. And they're probably know nothing flipping dipsticks anyway, so really ain't going to be listening to them. But yeah, I'm afraid that with what's left, it's definitely not going to be the same again. We all had, a lot of us had great respect for her. I mean, I've obviously, she's been the only monarch I've ever known since I've been alive, and she, I've seen her several times on various occasions where she's been to various events, at school events. So, I mean, I grew up in Wimbledon, so we saw her several times in Wimbledon, and several other places too. Wimbledon obviously is a pretty famous area, mainly because of the bloody tennis lark and the Wombles. Don't forget the Wombles. That's why I'm called the Dashing Womble, because I'm from Wimbledon, and most people people from Wimbledon have got the nickname of being called the Womble, or Womble. It's W-O-M-B-L-E. Just look up the Wombles of Wimbledon Common, and that will tell you. I would get Mr. Orinoco, but I think he's asleep on the back seat. He's a Womble, a real Womble. Alright, anyway, so yeah, UK is not going to be the same again, and what we've got left, I don't think they're going to be. They're not going to be anywhere as good as the Queen. She certainly had diplomacy. Without a doubt. And she just kept up traditions as well. We never heard anything bad from her at all. And I mean, I'm sure not only with her husband Prince Philip passing away, I'm sure that, I know they were both up in the years, but I'm sure with all the troubles with their kith and kin, and I'm sure a lot of their antics hurt them quite a bit, troubled them quite a bit, and with them being a bit older, as much as they had to stiff upper lip and try to keep everything on an even keel, and not so much keep things hush hush, I suppose, but to at least not start shouting amongst each other. They would just sort it out between them. But although a lot of that stuff couldn't be kept quiet, especially when the big mouth flipping, what's her name, Megan. Harry got duped. That's all I'm gonna say. He got duped. Anyway, now his mother, Princess Diana. There was a lot of hurt when Princess Diana went. And like I said, I've never been much of a fan of the royals, but she was different. She married into it. She totally different person. And many people around the world, and anyone watching this may well know. But I'm lucky. I'm lucky in the fact that I actually got to meet her, and I've got a signature of her. She signed a postcard for me, and it was a postcard of when Wimbledon had won the football, like proper football, soccer, I suppose, what you want to call it if you're American watching this. But Wimbledon had won the FA Cup at some stage. The date is well out of my mind at this point. But I had this postcard, and she signed it because she was there. And so I thought that was great. So I still got that here. That's in my office. And she done a lot of good around the world. Done a lot of good. Everybody liked her. And as much as many of us got peeved off about the Queen when she didn't, it doesn't matter. You know what? Stuff that. It doesn't matter. It's all about the Queen now. She done her part. 70 years on the throne, and she did very well, and we've got to respect her. So let's all get her buried, and then if someone wants to argue the case, then they can go ahead. But at least let's make sure she's interred first, and laying beside her husband and whomever else that she's laying with, resting with. Anyway, enough is enough. I've rattled on far too much and gone right off subject as usual. Everyone who ever watches this probably knows that. And I should be inside Should be inside relaxing in the house, but I'm outside here in the van chatting to everybody, or really not everybody. Looks like I'm chatting to myself in the mirror area, feeling an utter wally. And in case any of you don't know what wally means, it's an English term for an idiot. Anyway, words along that effect. Alright, thanks for watching. Don't forget, like, that's the thumbs up button. Subscribe. Ring that little dingy bell thing, the little bell button as well next to the subscribe. If you click on that, it'll warn you of when it'll warn you when I've got some new videos out, so you can run screaming or just turn the phone off, whichever. And leave a comment if you like, as long as it's a good one. If it's not a good one, then you know my sentiments on that. If you don't want to leave a good one, well, bog off and look that up. And yeah, I mean, if you found the video entertaining or any good to you, I'm glad. If you've fallen asleep and I've made you fall asleep, well, I've been good that way too. Yay, I'm the jack of all trades, or ray of all trades. Anyway, so yeah, thanks again. I'll be back at some stage, probably tomorrow, and hopefully it won't be peeing it down with rain, and I've got to see how I'm going to get inside without getting soaking bloody wet. But I'll edit this video first and get this online, and then I'll do it. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Hope you've all learned, all the drivers have earned lots of money, had stress-free, haven't gotten too wet if you're in the Kansas City area, or at least Summit. And customers, hope you've got your food correctly as it should have been delivered. And customers, please put on the bloody porch lights. Clear the bloody pathway for your food to make it. Even if you're not caring about the driver that's delivering it to you, at least care about the food, because it doesn't walk up to your doorstep on its own. It doesn't float. So put out some lights. Put the dogs away. Leave the cats out. I like the cats. Actually, I like the dogs too, as long as they're not using me as a chew toy. And that's it. Just put some lights on, please. It's getting dark. Tonight it's pissing down with rain. Just make it a little bit easier for us. Make it easier on yourself, that you don't get a flat dinner if it's been delivered when your driver falls on it and squashing it everywhere. It's not their fault at that point, it's yours. But alright, thanks again. Hope you all have a good one, and we'll be back tomorrow. And as I understand it, Kansas City Chiefs play tomorrow. Oh joy. It's alright, I'm not a NFL fan, but hey, it's fun for someone. My wife for one. And no doubt I'll hear her all day long. Alright, thanks again. Cheers. Ta-da.